Over the past few days, I've been playing a lot of Pyke on stream. All the clips used in this video are from my Twitch, links in the description below. And I've been learning a lot of stuff about it. I'm now Mastery 7, and I'd like to share everything I've learned over these past few days with you guys. So with no further ado, let's get right into the video. There's this YouTuber called Guy, and I've been analyzing for a while. After watching him, I decided to try and play Pyke. This character is way more complicated than I ever thought he'd be, but I'll try and break him down into 4 main parts: his abilities, how to play him, runes and builds, and counters. Pyke's passive is Gift to the Drowned One. There's 2 parts to this passive. The first part of his passive is he doesn't gain health from any source but health per level, but all the health you build is turned into AD. For every 14 health, you receive 1 AD. The second half of his passive is Pyke stores up to 50% of the damage he takes as grey health. Once unseen by the enemy, he quickly converts the grey health into green health. Initially, there are 2 reactions to this passive. One is, wow, he can't build tank, he must be useless to support. The other reaction is, wow, he can still build tank and do damage. The 2 reactions are the reactions to Pyke when you never played him, and the second is when you recognize his power. After the video, I'll hopefully convert you to the second mindset. His passive is deceptively strong. The first part of his passive allows him to build tank and resistance, yet still do tons of damage. This creates 2 splits that you can follow. You can take the assassin build, one-shot someone and maybe live to get others, or you can build tank and still one-shot someone, and you are almost guaranteed to live. While the second part of his passive is good, it's not as good as the first. The second part of his passive is also really strong because it allows Pyke to take risky trades and get away with it. What is also nice about this passive is taking trades with it. Because of how strong it is, you will heal 50% of any damage that they deal. To win trades, all you have to do is go even in damage. Pyke's passive can also come in clutch when you're trying to escape a fight or something, because once you go invisible, you'll heal for a lot of the damage, making it almost impossible for them to tower dive you or finish you off through Ignite, because you will regen your health even through Ignite. See, now, I respect Riot and everything that they do, but allowing a character to heal through Ignite to an extent which the Ignite does less damage than what they heal is kind of stupid. That's like giving Set true damage on his W. It just makes him excessively strong. Healing Addition is like a Mundo ult once it comes in. Ignite doesn't stop a Mundo ult. Ignite isn't going to stop your passive from healing you, which is so annoying when you're playing against a Pyke. You ignite him, he's just going to W away and get out because he'll heal from his passive. Pyke's next ability is his Q, Bone Skewer. This is one of the bread and butter parts of his kits. Pyke charges up a hook-like projectile that hooks the first enemy and drags them towards Pyke, also slowing them for 90% for 1 second. You can also tap Q and Pyke will jab the nearest enemy, prioritizing champions, and it will slow them by 90% for 1 second. Pyke's Q is like a worse Blitz Q, but that isn't to say it's a bad ability. Having it in his crit creates a volatile combo. The pull added with the slow allows for easy follow-up CC to be applied. When chasing down enemies, it's a good gap closer. Even though you are slowed for a couple seconds, you gain a lot of reach from the hook. The shank part is also very good when you're up close and personal with the enemy or fighting in a minion wave. Due to prioritizing enemy champions, normally you'll max this ability first for a shorter cooldown. Pyke's W is Ghost Water Dive. Pyke goes on into a dive and enters a camouflage state, which he gains movement speed decaying over 5 seconds. The camo from his W is next to useless when engaging in a fight, and is only really used when trying to escape the fight. The movement speed that it gives helps catch up or evade the enemy. When he is in his W and enemies are nearby, they get sharks around their feet and hear a noise that alerts them to Pyke's presence, basically removing all the surprise he had. It's like a worse Twitch Q, but what his W does exceedingly well is it synergizes with Pyke's passive. When escaping a fight or after taking a trade, activating W sends you into your camouflage, allowing you to activate your passive. This brings your HP back so fast it almost allows him to be in the fight for longer. You should have maxed this ability second. Pyke's E is Phantom Undertow. Pyke's E has 2 parts. The first part is once activated, Pyke will dash forward in a chosen direction, leaving a phantom behind him. After 1 second, the phantom returns to Pyke, stunning any champion that's in its pass. Pyke's E is a good move to engage or evade due to its long range. It will work with all your abilities no matter what you want to do. Casting it after your Q gives you an easy stun, and there's many other combos which we will be covering later in gameplay. Pyke's R is Death from Below. Pyke marks an area on the map, and if any champions are in that area, it executes them and it blinks him to the middle of the X. Any champion that isn't executed takes 50% damage. If someone dies in the X, it grants the last assisting ally your cut, and he can recast it for the next 20 seconds. If there's no assisting ally, Pyke then gets 2 cuts to himself. Your cut can be activated to give yourself 300 gold. If you have no space for your items, your cut will automatically be added to your money pool. Pyke's ult is a power move. It's easy to hit as long as you have a brain, and it can be used to be comboed with his other moves. The slow from his hook or his shank can easily be used to land his ultimate. Due to the reset of his ult, and when it's about to run out, you can stun at someone with using your ult E combo. The golden splits is also a godsend for helping you to come back or get way too far ahead. There are 3 main phases of the game for Pyke: laning, roaming, and then pick/teamfight. Early laning phase, Pyke gets easily abused by most supports and ADCs. It is easy to tell when you're looking for an engagement because of the charging of your Q. Your hook is easily dodged because of minions, so I recommend engaging with your E. Pyke excels at long engagements due to his passive, so don't be afraid of longer fights. As long as you go even in damage, you will win because you can heal up. Mostly play around ganks and look for mistakes in the enemy players. If they go for a ward, try and punish them with the hook. Due to Pyke's mobility, junglers will most likely target your ADC, so during ganks, your priority is to save them. You should be fine, just save the ADC. No matter how well you play, your ADC is going to be a monkey. So remember, treat them as a monkey. Be the zookeeper and win the game. Once you reach level 6, you gain tons of kill potential due to your ult. This is the prime time to look for ults, or try and fight bot. Due to the movement speed from Pyke's W, he is easily able to roam to mid or other lanes. Though the enemies will see the sharks, they don't see you until you are close. You can also W to get there faster and walk around and try and catch the enemy. Because Pyke has a hook, you can gank no matter where the enemy is. But for best success, you should wait till the enemy is pushed under the tower or the waves are clashing in the middle. Top is much more difficult to roam to due to its far distance from bot, but the best way to roam top is when there's nothing bot or mid lane. I would suggest recalling, then going top lane to the lane or the jungle. Once everyone's out of laning phase, your main job is to look for picks to secure objectives when the dragon's up. When the dragon's up, look for the enemy jungler, and it's the same for Baron. When sieging a lane, look and try and pick for the main wave clear. In fights, depending on the enemy's team comp, will decide on who you should go for. If they have assassins, you may want to carry your ADC. If they have a mage, maybe peel for them if needed. And when they don't have anyone to dive on your backline, go for theirs. But no matter what, always look for an ult on the enemy. If you are confident you will hit them, and it will reset, go for it. If not, play safe. A live Pyke with ult provides more pressure than a dead Pyke with no ult. From my experience, there are about 5 ways to build Pyke: Glacial Bruiser, Dark Harvest Assassin, Electrocute Fighter, Aftershock Tank, and Hail of Blades. I personally prefer Glacial because when you engage with the enemy, the additional slow makes it easy to hit skill shots. To combat the lack of tankiness, you will have to build Tank and Bruiser items. Your core items are Frozen Heart, Maw, Black Cleaver. The reason I prefer this over Aftershock is because Maw/Frozen Heart supplies the same amount of stats that Aftershock gives. Dark Harvest is by far the most popular build for Pyke. Dark Harvest is seen as an assassin rune. Your core items will be Ghostblade, Duskblade, Edge of Night. Youmuu's active allows for easy roaming, and most of Pyke's abilities have some sort of lethality scaling. If you properly stack the Dark Harvest, you'll do good late game, but if you don't, the rune will be basically useless. Electrocute is an uncommon pick, but people like because it works with your combos. A QE or anything like that will proc it. Similar to Dark Harvest, you'll build similar items. It's a safe pick compared to Dark Harvest. It will always provide consistent damage whether you're doing good or bad. Aftershock is the second most popular rune for Pyke. It provides as much needed resistance when you engage on an enemy. The downfall is if you miss your skill, you'll never utilize it. As highlighted earlier, you get the same resistances as Frozen Heart and Maw Mortality. You generally build similar to the Dark Harvest. The final rune set for Pyke is Hail of Blades. This is the crack version of Pyke. If you take Hail of Blades, you're going mid, or you can take it bot. With this, you want a mix of tanky and assassin. The core items will be Black Cleaver, Youmuu's, and Sanguine Blade. There are not many counters to Pyke: Thresh, Blitz, Nautilus, and Leona. To win against most of them, just try and get picks. If not, just try and go even in lane. There are other small things such as when Leona E's, you try and eat away and drag her into tower or your team. Nautilus is probably your biggest counter due to his high CC and tankiness. When fighting him, protect your ADC and try and pick the enemy ADC off. You shouldn't be doing the most damage, your ADC should. Though most ADCs nowadays are monkeys, so try and play around your junglers and their ganks or the mid laners' roams. Thank you guys for watching the video. Like I said before, all the footage I was using in this video is from my live stream, twitch.tv/widescatten. I try to stream every day around 5 o'clock. Join me, the link's in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thanks, until next time.